Gibby, if you're driving through town, where can you go and get a quality, innovative education at a nationally ranked top college?
I'm going to Northwood Technical College. I mean, I know it's affordable. They have small classes, and somebody that's had 15 years of teaching experience. I know how important it is to have flexible learning now with online, in-person options, transfer options. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, they have 80 associate degrees and technical diplomas and numerous classes. Ag, architectural, construction, business, finance, health science, IT, law, public and safety, manufacturing, transportation, and liberal arts.
It sounds like a no-brainer to me, Scrib. So visit northwoodtech.edu to learn more.
And experience success.
Hey, fellas, coming from the construction industry, I completely understand how stressful it can be when it comes to purchasing a new home.
That's why you want a small family home builder that pays attention to what you want.
You're talking about Franklin's Carpentry. They strive to make the new home building process as easy as possible for the client. You're going to get the attention from James and his wife throughout the whole process. They build a quality and honesty are their biggest values. They build it into the house. Give them a call at 715-441-8098. Gibby, you been driving on the north side in Richmond?
Always.
Hey, you got to stop in at A&G Auto. Jerry can do it all at A&G Auto. Pretty much any part of the car he can fix because he has 30 years of experience. Call Jerry today to schedule your appointment. 715-246-7741.
Well, I tell you what, with that much experience, I have zero. I know nothing about engines, oil changes, transmissions, nothing, so I need to call him.
Yes, you do. Cool little tune here. Gabby, how can we get our kids in this town ready to rock and roll for the next season of sports? 2023, fall, spring, 2024, whatever. It doesn't matter. How do we get them ready to rock and roll?
Just opportunities, man. We just have to have more opportunities in regards to coaches, gym space. That's a big loaded question, but I think it boils down to opportunities and taking advantage.
The button didn't work.
That's all right. Everybody else is just, in angst. And
Strand didn't work.
Live from the Justin Livestream Network studios, Scrib and Gib.
I always work.
Whoa. Hey, I think that's a good answer, a great answer. Have you ever been fired up on this topic? Because I know we love getting you fired up. Is that a good topic to get fired up?
I'm fired up on it tonight. I really, truly am.
Well, how about you explain? Why are you fired up? What's the reason to being fired up on given opportunities?
I think for those people that know me, I'm a little bit passionate. And right? I feel it. And especially
Gibby, passionate?
Especially around kids.
Passion. We're talking passion?
Passion fruit?
And just giving kids the best opportunity that they possibly can, because it's crazy. And I thought I was passionate before, but now it's like my daughter now is 16, and you realize how fast this time goes. And their time and exposure to sports is so small that, I think you got to give everything you possibly can in the community, in a school district, to give them the best possible experience that you can. And that's what makes me excited. That's why I was fired up earlier today.
Yeah, and I think people forget about that. I think you touched on one thing that I think we all know as parents, because we've lived through this. You always look for your kids to get to high school, right? To be that in high school sports, but it goes so fast. When it hits, obviously our kids are in the same grade, but freshman, boom, we're sitting here talking junior.
We have two kids in the same grade. I mean, it's crazy.
And now the thing is our juniors.
Yeah.
They only have 5 seasons left of sports.
It's unbelievable.
So, Bennett playing football, he's got 1 season left.
Mm-hmm.
Kiana playing volleyball, one season, Moose. That's it. Now, you got 20 seasons left of all sports because you have 100 kids. We get it.
You guys give me no credit because
we always give you credit.
We know
nobody has came back from knee surgeries like Moose.
I'm sitting here.
Other than Adrian Peterson. You two are in a class of your own. We give you that. Anyhow. What do you got for us?
Nope, I'm good.
No. Why is it the
man? Let's go.
It's funny because I sit here listening. You guys, it goes so quick. Guys, I have a 23 and a 21 and a senior.
So you get
right
it
now.
I know. And then you got 14 more coming up.
I do not. I got an 8th grader. You're 48 years old over here.
Whoa.
47.
Yeah. No, 48. I'm 48.
Yeah,
I had a birthday. Yeah,
just
thanks for the birthday
47.
wish.
And,
you gave him a birthday wish. You didn't give me one.
Tiny? When's your birthday?
I can't say.
I don't remember.
Well, he doesn't get overloaded with birthday cards and stuff like that. I get it.
If I don't see it on Facebook, which I'm not on Facebook very often, guess what? I have no clue.
I just know I had a birthday after Gibby's.
Anyway, 48. How old is Tiny? What grade is Tiny in?
Tiny's in 4th grade.
I have an 8th grader. I only have 17, 18, 19 seasons left. How many do you have?
17, 18, 19
I had to
seasons.
I'm not going to wait for North Dakota math and Turtle Lake math to figure this. We'll be in here for 25 minutes.
I had to count up
The
with my
listeners
fingers.
do not
He'll
want to
be
listen
taking
to
his
that.
Shoes off,
But
pulling
anyways,
this little
hey,
piggy.
at the end of the day, it goes fast.
Yeah,
Right?
and I
does,
think
guys.
that's the key point. So how do we give everybody the best opportunity? Because it's not about giving our kids the only opportunity. So it's giving all kids opportunities. Now, a lot of the times we focus on our own kids because that's what we can control, right?
Right.
Or we have opportunities to control our kids, their closest friends, because we can offer up different things. But how do we just grow that?
Can I bring up
Yeah.
before you finish your question?
Yeah. Question.
I want you to add this into your question. How do we utilize what we have in this town? We had a facilities podcast. Go back and listen to it, right?
Yeah.
It's
That was
awesome.
a great interview with Angela Olsen, because we all started talking not just about the hockey rink possibly. We're going to be going through a referendum here real quick, I think, in the next year or two, because we're looking at our facilities now in New Richmond. And then on top of it, the facilities we have currently, how do we utilize every facility in New Richmond to maximize our student athletes?
I think that's great. I think I was not going to ask a question, just so you know. I was going to elaborate on Gibby's answer, but it sounds like I'm supposed to ask a question. So, Gibby, how do you maximize every possible facility in this town to grow our kids, athletically?
That's
or
easy.
just
They are maximized right now. There's no space.
But how do we do it better then?
We got to get more spaces.
But every facility.
But every facility, whether it's the school or if it's the center.
I go
the
to
press room,
Anytime Gym.
Anytime
I
Fit. How do we
lift-
utilize
I lift
more?
with high schoolers all the time.
Well, what got me fired up
Oh, hold on, you hear that?
a little
he lifts
bit.
with high schoolers all the time. I'm surprised he's not lifting with grade schoolers, so he feels better. Ooh, look at me.
Moosey.
I want to punch you right
Hey,
now.
I know.
No,
But I mean, I think
hey,
that's good. Like,
what we're gonna do? We're gonna pause right now. Okay, we're gonna take a look.
Time out.
Little timeout, little full. We're gonna take a full.
Oh,
okay?
I got a better
So
one
we've
for
got.
you.
We're gonna race against Mara, which you want to do this week. It didn't work out, and that's okay. We're gonna.
We'll do it when it's 35 degrees.
Yes,
not
we're gonna
60.
do that. Mara knows we're gonna race. We're looking for something hopefully with Lily and Blargen. We're hopefully to do that.
Well, pickleball.
The little pickleball, right? But
Yo.
if he's gonna talk a little smack in the gym, maybe we have to have a little lift off between old Moosey,
Oh no.
a little Moosey.
He's probably
and
like
script.
freakishly
I
strong.
got it. I
Hey,
got
I
it. No,
think
I got it.
strong.
Hey, it's a dead, it's a squat, and it's a bench. The three big dogs.
I got
think
it.
You
two?
three.
You two?
What do you mean? Well, how'd
No,
you
just-
stretch
How
it?
did you get it on
I'm
there?
okay being in
Nobody
it, but
wants
you
to go up
two-
against him.
Against me and my partner.
no, not happening. Because
No.
he's gonna go
He's gonna
grab.
go,
Yeah.
"Hey, I was in Madison for 6 years.
No,
I was the
no.
video guy. I knew
I
the
am
whole
bringing
football
somebody
team.
from
Ron
this
Dayton.
I
town.
know probably who
Ron
exactly
Dayton
who
will
you're
be
I
bringing.
am bringing somebody in this town who we're going to have on the podcast. I'm bringing him.
Hey, that would be fun. That would be kind of fun because I probably know he's going to bring it. I don't want to spoil it. But maybe bring him in on podcast. We can talk about it.
What's his initials?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it because people probably listen to this so they're not dumb. Our
I'm
listeners are very
bringing
smart.
the
'cause obviously-
best
Yeah.
in this town
Yeah.
on this topic.
Oh, this is great.
And I just talked to him last Saturday night.
Hey.
No, Friday night.
Lucy, I believe in you.
He is
Hey,
all in.
We're going to tighten them zippers up in them knees, buddy.
Hey.
And we're going to get going.
I know you listen. I told you we were going to do it.
Father John?
Oh, Father John will be there.
Hey, we're there.
We know he listens.
Yeah.
No, I got the guy. We talked last Friday night. We had a really good conversation on a local establishment. He wants to come on. He listens. And we talked about, hey, maybe doing something at the weightlifting room. How do we get him involved
Yeah.
into some sports?
That would be awesome.
This
100%
is
we got to
great.
get him on. We'll do this. That'd be a great lead.
Yeah, I got
and
him
then
on.
we'll do that.
I got him on the old digit
All right,
here.
all
I
right,
got it.
perfect. We're going
Now,
to do that.
He had to, it was
Hey.
late.
I
No,
love
it was
Hey,
fun, but hey,
we're
me
gonna
and
do
him against you two.
Oh, I love it. All right. Hey, challenge Moose accepted. Okay, so now back to our facilities. Yes, I think like right now, you look at the center. Is that like how do we utilize that space? I don't even have a clue right now how. And
Well,
I
I
live
know,
there
we
every
do-
morning at
yeah.
4 o'clock, 5
We
o'clock
do it
in the morning.
We're-
And it's
but-
pretty empty, Scrib. You go there at the end of the school day, and there's a 500 middle school kids in there, but you go in a lot of those rooms and they're completely empty. So I don't know, like, if there's room or space or programs that, or people that could maybe give a little bit more effort and possibly trying to get those spaces
But
utilized.
that's every space because the Anytime has that room off to the side
Yep.
that they have. You know,
Which
it's
I
like,
don't
why
even
don't they have a
understand either.
program?
Yeah,
Right.
and I think that's where I think that was the question, right? Like, how do we get? We know currently we are constricted to space, right? Our facility is fairly maxed out. Now, I'm one that says, I do a lot with basketball in the gyms. I help manage that, through basketball. Everybody else does their own thing, but like, it's tough. Now, there is gym space open at odd times, but people don't like that, and I get it. You think about hockey, right? I mean, I know.
Mac is a Bantam. He practices at 8:45 at night.
Correct. Now there's a game tonight, right? Do you know what team plays? There's some game tonight, like 8:40 or 8:30 in Richmond tonight.
Yeah, that's when it's open.
And it's
That's how
like,
it goes.
seriously?
Yeah.
But they're utilizing that because they only have one
One
sheet of
yep.
right of ice, so they got to utilize it to the best of their ability, which it does mean late at night. But that's my thing. Then, if hockey can do it, everybody can do it, and it's not ideal. But if we
Right.
can get in and utilize a
Space,
facility
yeah.
at X time, and people want to do it, how do we do it? And it's not easy. Now, just so everybody knows, we're not saying that it's easy. We know it's actually tough because you got to get somebody to be there. You got to get people to facilitate it and help it. But how do we do it? I mean, I think that's
Well,
why that is what you're looking for, right?
Well,
Like, how
yeah,
do we
I mean, for-
utilize it to the best
well,
of our ability to develop athletes so we can compete at the highest level that
we
our
possibly
school
can.
that we can give our kids, that if kids want to commit, they have a way to get to where they want to be.
Well, and what's really spurred this a lot of, we've talked about these, I would say within the last year, we've done a really, Dr. Gervais, we talked about our facilities, we talked a lot about sports psychology.
Youth sports, right?
Yes, youth sports, which we'll do some more of. But when you start to, this year, for some reason, probably because we went to level 3 in the football playoffs, you realize that, man, there's some schools out there. You look at Wanakee, what have they been at the state tournament in football? What, they've won it how many times, state titles? And was it 9? I mean, it's my point is like, where is our bar at in Richmond? You know what I mean? Like, if our bar is here, which I think for some coaches, that's not going to be good enough, right? Like, I know I have a sense and a feeling when I talk to Reggie, like, yes, we made it to the 3rd level in the playoffs. That's a stepping stone to get to where we want to go. Every program, if you're not on that progression, if that's not what your goal is trying to do, if you're lost in this whole, I don't even want to go down that road, but it's you always should be, as a head coach, as a varsity sport, you should be always concentrating on getting to the state tournament. If you're not, then why are you coaching? In my opinion. Now, they might say, oh, it's so much more than winning. It's the worst excuse that I've ever heard, because they'll throw out, oh, it's all about having fun, or it's all about building character. I'm not disagreeing with any of that, but try to tell me that the Wanakee football program doesn't have fun and doesn't build character and doesn't do those types of things, and some of these other programs that are around the state that do amazing things. Yeah, those programs do all that. Newsflash, right? The kids have fun. The kids build character. It helps them be better humans in society, and they go on to be very successful. Quit blaming a terrible record on the simple fact that, well, I'm just trying to make great kids out of it. No, come on, man. You're just trying to make up for the fact that you can't do certain things. Right? You got me going.
I
You
know.
got me going.
I knew I
and
would.
you guys are pushing buttons, man. But I'm
I
telling you,
think we know what he needs.
yeah, I do. But I
Now,
don't know. I'm just
here's the
passionate
thing, though.
about
Like,
that type of thing.
I agree, and I think what's interesting is you brought up Coach Larson and Wanakee. Obviously, I went down there and watched the game, and I afterwards we all were on the field talking to our kids and players, and and I went over. I talked to Reggie. I said, "Hey, congratulations on the great season. Great game. Hey, they were a heck of a team." And he's like, "Yeah." And you could see. And I know Reggie will probably call me out, and that's fine. Like, I could see in Reggie's eyes, he was like, not satisfied, but I felt like he gave me a look like it was a great season. But his next comment is what stuck with me. He's like, starts over tomorrow. That's his mentality.
That's what.
The game ended. You always see every college coach, every NFL coach, they say you celebrate today, you start the next week tomorrow, right? And I felt like in Reggie's mind, that was his mantra that night. Like, there's nothing to do. This season's over. The game is over. You can't go back and replay it and expect to win. But his mentality was It stings. It hurts. It was a great season. It stings. It hurts. But the season for 2024 started the day after. I know, well, I don't know because I don't want to speak for Reggie, Coach Larson, but I believe that was his mentality is like, it was a fun season, right? We enjoyed it. Was that the way that they wanted the season to end? Heck no. I saw the tears in the eyes of the players. They were devastated, but they also knew, I felt like they knew that they played their best they could play. They played their hearts out. That was a better team.
Yeah, it's the best.
And we all knew
high school
it.
football teams I've ever seen in Wisconsin.
But they also knew, like the younger kids, and like Coach Larson said, starts tomorrow. If we want to be back here, or have Wanakee come up to play us next year, or the next big school that wants, we got to get better. We got to start tomorrow.
Yes, and you're in that situation, Scrib, to have that conversation.
It's awesome.
It's unbelievable. And my point is, if you're a coach and you're not there, how are you gonna get there?
Yeah,
if you're sitting there and you don't know how to get there, then get out.
Yeah,
that's my point. I just, very, very simple for me, Scrib, is like there was a lot of parents that asked me if I was going to coach this year in the volleyball. Now, I'm a football guy. I'm a baseball guy, right? So I played in college, right?
Wrestler.
And, yeah.
2-0.
Yeah.
Swanee,
massive
we got
wrestling,
to get a hold of Swanee.
yeah. But my point to that is, right, I coached 6th grade girls volleyball last year, which, I think, have fun. This is, I'm a little bit, again, over the top, but I'm studying, like, how can I be, the best coach that I could possibly be? I think we had a very successful year. But, Scrib, at the end of the year, when people said, God, I can't wait for you to coach my kid, I'm like, I don't know if you want me coaching your kid next year. I'm not a volleyball coach. I'm not a volleyball player. I just stepped in. Like, this town should be driven to find the best at all times. And I don't think to be great, you can't just be great at some things and then bad at other things. That doesn't make you great, right? And I know that's a challenge for sports programs, but here's the deal. If you're great, that's your goal in everything. I don't care if it's brushing your teeth or eating your cereal or working out at the gym or at your job. If you want to be great, you got to be great at all of it. And that's what we need to do. And I feel like our town right now, we're stepping up, Scrib. And Moose, we're stepping up. We're D1, D2. We're playing the Wanakees of the world right now. We're playing Hudson. Hudson, their football program, their hockey program, has been amazing. We're facing if we want to get and we're
if we want to keep excelling, we got
to step it up. And it's not. We can't continually do what we're doing right now and think we're going to get there. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I told you he was fired up, Moose.
He was really fired up.
But I think what you're getting at is it's not like we can have down seasons.
Yes, everybody has down seasons.
But what is the plan to, how are we taking that season and growing, right? I just go back, like you think about, 2 years ago, where our football team was. But Reggie had a plan. Like, no, I don't know where we're going to be next year. And I don't know all of Reggie's plans. Like, I just look at his progression. Like, he's always looking to grow. What can we do differently? How do we get better, bigger, faster, stronger? That's his mentality, the weight room, right? He loves it. Every time he's on the podcast, he talks about
less football, more weight room.
Yeah.
And it's
summer
character.
gym.
I don't think
that was interesting. Sorry, I want to cut you off for a second there. When he was in here, not not during the season because that was all about football. When he talked about that, how he had to sit back a little bit and just think about how he's so into bigger, faster, stronger, the weight room stuff. Like he goes, sometimes I don't even think about myself as a coach. I'm like, you're leading the biggest program in our school, football, but you're talking so much about weight. But that's how he thinks about how to get to where you want to be. And I think X's and O's comes, right? Like we know Coach Larson is all about football, but he's thinking about how do I get my kids prepared to be athletically as big, as fast, as strong as they need to be now to play my scheme or now to play our team, right? Bring the team out. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's what you're trying to get us. Like, we know no school is successful all the time, but they're thriving. They're striving to be successful. How do you go back to Coach Rajkovic? Remember? Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't even know, been doing it for 50 years, thought it was his worst team. The guy made the playoffs and beat the number one team in our conference.
But again, I think what we're talking about here, Scrib, is a process. There's a lot of things, right? It's maybe expectations. It's your bar. Everybody's got whatever analogy they want to make. but it's about the process, right? Like if
Yeah.
your process is correct, if you are in the weight room like Reggie puts the amount of hours that program probably spends outside of football versus inside of football would probably surprise a lot of people.
We're gonna have
But
to have
that's
him
how
on.
you're great.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have him
that's
back.
what I was just thinking. Reggie's
gotta
gonna be
we
have-
on
will.
next
I
couple
think
weeks,
so.
so
But
let's see if we can
that's
get him
my
on.
point. And here's my deal. If you are a coach and you're unwilling to put that in, but there's a coach out there that is willing to put it in, then what are you doing, man? That's what I'm asking. Like that's my point about me coaching. I'm like, man, here's the deal. Yeah, I'll run through a wall for your kids. But if there's somebody out there that plays college volleyball that can come in there that's forgot more about volleyball than I know, then I'm doing the kids a disservice. And I have to be a good enough human being to say 100% take it over. I'm just doing it because they needed somebody, right? And I think
I was raising my. I guess I got to go coach volleyball now because I mean, God, my sister was good, but we all know why.
yeah,
Hopefully she's listening because that's what I always tell her.
Scribner's mom is
really good. Yeah.
All right, hey, we got to get going. Gibby's fired up. We got to bring him down a little
I
bit.
got
But
blood pressure. I would like to have
Yeah, I
like one of
think
those needles
this
things
just
on my
this
thumb.
is the podcast that spurs on our other podcasts. You
yeah,
know
we
what?
need
Kinda
some of these. I
trickling
think
some
this is a
things
good
out
one, and
there,
I think what we.
throwing down challenges.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I can't
hey,
wait.
I'm telling you, my guy, you guys better keep pumping, boy.
All
All right. I'm Scrib.
And I'm Gib, and I'm fired up, and we got Moose on the loose.